Hey, this is William for attackofthefanboy.com, and we're talking about Call of Duty, the Black Ops 4 reveal. I'm here with the world's foremost authority on Call of Duty,
Oh man,
Kyle Hansen.
totally.
He knows a good Call of Duty single-player campaign, and this game's not going to have one.
It's not going to have one at all.
Not one at all.
Yeah.
You know, that rumor was confirmed today.
Yeah, not too shocking.
Not too shocking. And they told me specifically that they never were going to do a Call of Duty campaign.
Really? So it wasn't like
Yeah.
a last minute, like, oh,
Well,
guys, put that on ice. We got to make a battle royale mode
Well,
real
the
quick.
rumor was that there was like serious trouble, and who knows? But one of the senior producers there told me like we were never going to do a campaign anyway.
Okay. Well, all
I'll
right.
take your word for it. You working on the game?
That's interesting. I wonder
That is interesting.
what made them make that decision. I honestly, I don't think it's a terrible decision because Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty just hasn't impressed in the campaign in a while. Maybe hardcore Call of Duty fans will yell at me about that, but I mean,
I love them.
Infinite Warfare, I was not a fan of the single player campaign. That was the last one that I really played a good portion of. And I don't know. Yeah, ever since the Modern Warfare games, but I didn't play the Black Ops games, which apparently had like top tier single player campaigns.
Yeah, I think some of that stuff was the better ones. And Modern Warfare had some good ones at the beginning too. But yeah, the Black Ops ones were kind of off the wall a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of, especially Black Ops 3 really kind of got crazy. But Black Ops 1 and 2 were pretty good as well. But yeah, today obviously wasn't a single player reveal, so we'll get that out of the way. But just so people know, there isn't a single player campaign this year. It's all multiplayer. Multiplayer in zombies. Multiplayer, competitive multiplayer. They'll have League play again this year. And then confirm the other rumor that was a Battle Royale mode was coming to Call of Duty, which I think they really missed a opportunity to gain some momentum. And obviously it's still one of the biggest or probably the best-selling game out there, but I was surprised that they didn't say more about Battle Royale today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could see this event. I don't know if we were kind of talking before we started recording that I just looking online, it seemed like most people weren't blown away by the event. Maybe the hardcore fans got exactly what they wanted, but there wasn't anything here that was just like wow and like lit up. Like honestly, if you go to Reddit, where I usually gauge the internet's thoughts,
The salt meter.
And these threads aren't near the top. Like this event kind of came out. The people who were interested in it watched it, but there was nothing there that like lit up the internet like big reveals usually do. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is partially down to exactly what you're saying, that maybe they needed to really go into this battle royale mode and essentially, throw the gauntlet and say, this is battle royale. You guys love battle royale. You're all playing Fortnite and PUBG. You're going to switch to this, and here's why. Instead, we got like a trailer. We got these vague promises of it's 10 years of Black Ops all rolled into one. I don't really know what that means.
That was incredibly weird. I didn't know what it meant either. I was like, okay, so they're going to show... Are they going to show this? No. And it was like, well, wow, that's the biggest tease ever. Like, hey, we're going to do this. We don't know how yet. I don't even know if they know how. I was talking to in a little interview, and I asked them, how many players is this going to be? Is this like 100 players? They said, we haven't nailed it down yet. So it's
right.
like they're trying to make it feel exclusively Call of Duty and Black Ops, according to the developers. And so they want engagements to feel like that, but they also, I guess they want to have that tension that, Battle Royale is kind of known for, right? I'm not sure. Who
and
knows?
how do they
It's
mix
really
that?
all a guess.
I mean, how do they mix in Call of Duty with? They're almost opposites of the shooter genre. There's the quick, fast-paced, small map action of Call of Duty, and then there's the large map, slow, tense sort of setup of a good battle royale game. So how are they going to mix that? I don't know, because they didn't show me.
Yeah, they did not. They were not forthcoming when we were asking them questions.
Interesting.
But if you are watching this on YouTube, you are seeing multiplayer gameplay. So that was the big focus of the reveal, even though most people are probably, like we're doing right now, talking about Battle Royale and what the possibilities are. And I think that's going to be the case for a little while here until E3, where you'll probably be seeing Battle Royale for the first time. But what was their big showing today was in multiplayer, and they let people get hands-on with it. I think the big changes, obviously, is the move to boots on the ground. That is a difference from the last game. The specialists are still in there. And
it's a difference from the last Black Ops game, right?
Yeah, difference from the last Black Ops game. World War II, they were not flying around on jetpacks.
So, I mean, what was your feeling getting
My feeling was that a couple of things. Well, first of all, taking the specialists from Black Ops 3, a lot of those are carrying over. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be familiar with some of their powers and some of their abilities. Obviously, the jetpacking stuff is gone. So the movement systems have changed. But it's still a very fast, frantic sort of experience. So what I also think they're trying to do here is, and there were some rumors about this heading into this reveal, was that it was going to feel more like an Overwatch sort of game.
That was the gist I was getting from people online, which looking back at the reveal, I was kind of seeing what they were saying, is that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is Overwatch mixed with Fortnite mixed with zombies.
Yeah, so, I mean, all that stuff isn't in the multiplayer, the competitive multiplayer, but in competitive multiplayer, you could still feel the old Call of Duty in there, but you could also feel that they're trying to push this in a brand new direction. So, for me, playing the game, it was hard to jump into that right away. And even though I was picking a specialist, and it's hard to know what each character does, at these things when you're just kind of thrust into it. But you could see that it's very important, maybe more important than any Call of Duty multiplayer before it, that you work as a team.
Okay.
So there are characters with very specific abilities. Healing. Being able to heal your teammates on the battlefield. They've added in an option to heal yourself. So you can.
Yeah, they broke that down. It's just a button press, right? Or is there some sort of system?
It's just a button press.
Okay.
It is just a button press. I believe it's something you have to hold to regain your health, because there's a health meter there, and then you hold down the button. I believe you hold it down, because I was getting shot right after healing, and I think I didn't hold it down long enough. Securing A. But yeah, that system is definitely different. I mean, I guess before you could take damage, hide, your health would come back, and then you could get back out into fighting after you recovered. But here you can kind of fight, duck, back behind cover, heal real quick, and get right back out there. It's just adds a little bit more control to the player, I guess. But I found it to be very natural, almost as natural as that automatic reload. Some people don't like people that reload after every couple shots, but
it's just compulsive. I do that.
It's a compulsive thing.
I see what you're saying. It kind of just fits into that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that same feel. Like, I took damage, boom, I'm healing, and that runs on a timer. So you can't just keep healing. You have a heal, and you have to wait a little bit. You can heal again, but each of the specialists all have unique abilities. So you've got, like, Torque is a character who has, like, this big shield in place, like, that he can put down, as well as, like, barbed wire, so they can reinforce objectives. If you're playing in objective-based mode, you can kind of stop lanes of enemies by throwing down this shield and kind of fortifying an area. I think Crash is the healer, and they can throw out heals to their party.
Does this stuff all... Sorry, does this stuff all feel like it fits into this boots on the ground mentality? Because they seem to be stripping features, but they're keeping this in. So
yeah, I mean, I think the boots on the ground stuff just fits into like that stuff. Ripping away the jetpack and wall running stuff really doesn't matter on these new maps because they're all built specifically for that style of gameplay, right? So even though, yeah, you can't wall run or boost jump or whatever anymore, you know, the maps aren't really built for that kind of stuff anyway, you know? So it doesn't feel like they're taking away anything. The game still plays very, very fast. You know, you've got your, I think I had some perks on to make it even faster, but it still has that very, very fast-paced feel from Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3 was one of like a very fast-paced game.
Yeah.
So they've changed that stuff from Black Ops 3. It's not all exactly the same. There just are some characters that have been carried over.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think the major additions, I mean, the two takeaways I had from that were, I mean, the health system, and obviously the move to boots on the ground, and then the return of some familiar specialists. But that team-based gameplay is kind of the thing that I think is going to take people the longest to get accustomed to. Because Call of Duty, in my mind, has never been a...
it's a lone wolf game.
It's a lone wolf game for a lot of people. I don't know how much, you know, how many Call of Duty games you played, but lone wolf will only get you so far until you run into a team that is coordinated, right? And then it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to be angled by a team that's set up in the right locations. They're just going to be holding down the lanes and holding all the right angles. So with this, it's really important to learn the characters, I guess. So when you are picking, you know, a Crash, a Torque, a Seraph, you're going to really know what your job is, right? Because you're the only one that can pick that person on the team. So it's kind of one of those things where not everybody can be the same person. So it's not going to break the game in that style, but I think over time, players will just learn what their role will be when they pick a certain character. So that will, you know, that will help those lone wolf players. They'll just have to join in and work as a team. Or it'll turn into a toxic hellhole like Overwatch.
My money's on that one.
That's where your money is, yeah. You can never bet on the negative. Always bet on the negative when it comes to the internet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're right. Past games, if you did work as a team, you know, you definitely played better. But it felt like just the structure didn't point gamers toward that. And so, you know, just looking back at the way that I played, it was usually just load up and do as well as I can, and then see what happens. So if this is actually like trying to guide players down that path, that may actually kick in that teamwork mentality. So hopefully.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, they haven't discussed a lot of it, but there are a lot of social hooks that are going to be in the game, according to Treyarch, that should pull people into doing the right thing.
Okay.
It's that, you know, that stuff. Like, they always have the best intentions in trying to foster the community. Like, they tried to do the same thing with the headquarters and get some friendly rivalries going with, you know, having the mosh pit where you could play one-on-one and do different competitions like the shooting range. I don't know if they're going to do that stuff again. They did not say, but you know, that did give players a place to kind of hang out and do some different stuff and kind of grow some friendships where they can expand those relationships and take them into the competitive multiplayer. So we'll see if that actually happens. But Also, I don't know, the customization options in Black Ops 4 are going to be pretty similar to Black Ops 3, although the gun customization has changed a lot. So you have instead of the same attachments for all weapons, which has been pretty standard, you've got some unique attachments for specific weapons in different classes. Mm-hmm. So your assault rifles and submachine guns and sniper rifles and heavy gun LMGs have all these different attachments that you can put on them, and then you've got the Pick-10 system as well on top of that. So there does seem to be a lot of customization. I did not have enough time to really dig into all of that, but I tried to try out some different combinations, but it's tough when you're only playing 3 games of something, not only to get a good feel for what it is, but the nitty-gritty of how these things impact the gameplay.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like a Treyarch Call of Duty game, without a doubt. It's very fast-paced, and I think there's enough improvements that have been made to it to please, Call of Duty fans.
Yeah.
And it's way different than Sledgehammer's game,
which they did World War II.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, I mean,
it just
taking it back to the near future, even if they are taking away the jetpacks and stuff like that, they can have that sort of impact. It does seem like the multiplayer is their safe bet. This is their, hey, we're changing some stuff. We're doing what you want, which is boots on the ground. And then here it is, and you'll enjoy it. You'll play it for hundreds of hours, and then there's also this other stuff, zombies and battle royale, and we'll see if those catch on. Which zombies obviously will.
Zombies has its fan base. The stuff that they showed today was a little bit weird. I mean, even people
really
here
confusing
at the event were like, "I'm not 100% sure what that was, how that's going to work." I mean, one of them was like a
gladiator
Roman Colosseum with melee weapons only, right? Like that's something that hasn't been done before. Just melee only. When they don't have any guns, it's always been guns.
Yeah.
In them modes.
Yeah, the chat on the live stream was really funny at that point. Everyone was freaking out. Either they were super excited or really, really angry, and there were a lot of no guns? What the hell? People were freaking out. So that, we'll see. It seemed like they're launching with 3. There's the Gladiator one. There's I termed it early 1900s. I couldn't quite tell what the time period was on a ship.
It's literally the Titanic.
Was it the Titanic? Okay. I was in another window writing at the time, so.
Yeah. It's literally the Titanic, and they want to kind of do an alternate history sort of thing with that.
All right.
I think it's called Voyage of the Dead, maybe.
Yeah.
I believe. And then
the
you've
third
got another one with 9.
The third one was even, I mean, as someone who kind of drifted away from Call of Duty, it was even more confusing because they're just like, you guys loved zombies on Black Ops 1 and 2. Here's a trailer. So is it a remake?
I'm not sure if that's a remake, but I think it's the characters from those games, because those characters didn't start changing for a little while there. They were always the same World War II veterans that were telling a story with that group.
Okay.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot of variety on that front. If anything, Treyarch sounds at least very confident that the game is still more than enough for everyone, And we asked them about single player. What about those people that are just in it for the single player? And how do you sell them this game? And their answer was zombies
with bots.
Zombies as a single player, yeah, and with you could change the difficulty modes for the first time, and then play it with bots. I don't know if that's a great answer, but they said
not,
that there's a lot of narrative in there for
Okay.
people that are looking for that single player experience, and then you've also got specialist missions. So there's going to be 10 specialists at launch, they told us, and then they said that they might add new ones in later with downloadable content as well. So you'll have 10 missions there at launch, which can also scratch that itch. I think they ultimately want to get people, gateway drug people from zombies and the specialist missions into multiplayer. And I think they said they're going to try and use those social hooks to pull players into, the more feature-rich stuff.
Interesting. So, I mean, as someone who has bought shooters for the single-player campaign, I would say that's not a good answer for me. But with that said, I'm not actually that upset with them removing the single-player campaign. I think Call of Duty is a multiplayer franchise. That's what people play it for. The vast, vast majority of people. I've not played a Call of Duty single-player campaign since Modern Warfare, where I walked away and was like, that was worth the price of admission right there. So if they just take that out and focus all of their energy, all of their development team and costs on these multiplayer things that people actually put most of their time into, I think it makes sense. I bet if you find an old Call of Duty video of ours, I bet I told them to get rid of the single player, and I'm sure that they listened.
It was your video probably that did this. So if anybody's mad,
contact me.
Kyle.
Yep, let me know.
Hansen at attackforthefanboy.com. But yeah, I mean, it was a relatively short and sweet reveal. We didn't get to play a lot. We played a little bit on the PC, which was actually it was a good-looking game. It played well. It was a little bit jittery. You need time to kind of adjust some of the settings on that to get a good feel for it, and they just plunk you down there and say, "Hey, go for it."
We're capturing Alpha.
Yeah.
But we also played on the PlayStation 4. That's another thing that they talked about a lot, with the PC version of the game getting significant work as well. I don't know if there's anything out there that I could point my fingers to and go, oh wow, this does feel like it's seen a lot of work, because I reviewed the last Black Ops game on PC and it was good. Because that was before the 4K consoles came out, and we were playing it on a 4K monitor, and obviously very expensive PC rig at the time. So
it's interesting that it's shifting over to Battle.net.
Yeah, that should provide some stability.
Yeah.
For the game, even though
people online were complaining about cheaters in the old games. They were saying World War II was flooded with them on PC. So
yeah, but isn't that through Steam anyway?
It is through Steam, yeah. So there was a lot of back and forth about why there's still cheaters and whether or not Battle.net will help them out. They don't
have like the VAC or whatever.
Yep, people were talking about it. So I don't know.
I've been on some crazy Call of Duty servers over the years. I used to play Black Ops 2 on these servers, and they were hosted just by whoever, and they can make their own rules. And it's kind of weird. I've never been a big PC player for Call of Duty. I just don't like it that much.
Yeah, and the audience seems to shift away quickly. Like, there's so many shooters on PC, and yeah, it seems like Call of Duty just kind of flashes in the pan and then it's gone. On PC, consoles stick around.
Yeah, but they really were like, all right, so you're going to be on PC playing Overwatch anyway. You could just hop on over to Call of Duty.
That's how it works.
We're just going to get this synergy going with our corporation. And why don't you get Jeff Kaplan in here for the reveal? Mr. Kaplan, come in and tell people while you're excited how Treyarch helped you with Overwatch.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty like they telegraphed that one.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. It's like you got to be an idiot to just take that and go, wow. If I like Overwatch, I'm gonna love this game. But it's true. I mean, there are some features about it that are going to feel familiar. I can see that happening right away, and I got the feeling of it. I think I had the feeling during some of my gameplay that I'm playing this the wrong way. I'm running in like I'm used to playing Call of Duty, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah,
So,
did you notice any of the, because they went in depth, well, kind of, into like recoil and how I can't tell if they're using actual bullet travel now or what is going on, but did you feel any difference in the way that guns handled? No?
Not really. It really, when I got my sensitivities dialed in and got a handle on like the health mechanic and managing that and reloading and special items and power up abilities and that stuff. Once I got that stuff sort of dialed in, it felt pretty familiar.
Okay.
I mean, that stuff is maybe if I went back and took a look at that video, I might see it in action.
Oh yeah, it recoiled right here.
Yeah, there's the recoil they're talking about. It's why I missed. But I didn't notice. I didn't actually notice it while we were playing. We got a chance to play, standard team deathmatch, like a hard point mode, and then a control mode that's similar to that Destiny. It's not really. You have to actually get 2 points within a certain amount of lives. So I guess it's not really like Destiny's control mode, but. It was definitely something new for Call of Duty. I'm not a big objective fan.
Okay.
I like playing either team deathmatch, kill confirmed, or team deathmatch or kill confirmed, really, and hardcore versions or variations of those.
Mm-hmm.
So like stuff like bullet recoil and health regens. I'm actually wondering how health regens and like hardcore modes are going to fit together, if they even have it.
Oh yeah, they could just disable it.
Yeah, just disable it completely, but that's pretty much one of the core gameplay pillars of what they're trying to do here with the regenerating health.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's a crazy world out there now.
It's a crazy
Shooters
world.
are adding features, removing features.
Every
knows?
year, it seems like. So yeah, so I don't know where we are in this video, but we are probably going to call our short discussion about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. We'll have more about the game here in the future. We'll probably be seeing it at E3 and covering all the news and updates as they come in the months ahead. For Kyle, I'm William for attackofthefanboy.com. And thanks for watching.
Enemies are contesting A. Capturing A. Merc forces are contesting Alpha.
War machine locked and loaded.
Hostiles contesting A. We're capturing Alpha.
Firing.
Merc forces are contesting Alpha. The enemy team is running low on lives.
Dead.
contesting A. Enemy UAV above. Hostiles contesting A. The enemy is out of lives. We're low on lives. Exercise caution. Taking Alpha. Enemies contesting Alpha. Titans taking the lead. Just how we drilled it. You took this round, but we're not done yet. Schwack. Control. Prevent hostile forces from taking our zones. They're taking Bravo. Bravo lost. Enemy UAV above. We're losing A. We're defending A. Enemy Hellstorm detected. We're almost out of lives. We're contesting A.
Enemy down.
They're down to their last lives. Take them out. This is it. No lives left. Losing Alpha. We're defending A. Battle's lost. Pop smoke, then regroup.
Threat neutralized. Infantry ground.
Control. Capture all zones. Merc forces are contesting Alpha. We're capturing Alpha. Hostiles contesting A. Enemies contesting Bravo. Capturing multiple zones.
Let's rock.
Bravo locked down.
TACCOM, get that hellstorm in the air.
Forces are contesting Alpha. We're taking A.
Tango down.
That's a
The
kill.
enemy team is running low on lives.
Requesting Hellstorm launch authority. Negative effect. Copy.
Hostiles contesting A. Lives low. Make them count. Capturing A. Enemies are contesting A. Hostiles are out of lives. Keep up the pressure. No more lives. No more chances.
Heads up!
Keep that info.
Eat this! Enemy down.
Torque reporting in.
Team deathmatch. Government troops, liquidate all hostiles. We have the advantage.
Sensor done at the story. Ready to dig in.
We're behind.
Fire deleted.
Taking the lead. We lost the advantage.
Deploying razor wire. Razor wire scrapped. He's gone.
Hostile UAV circling.
Play it.
TAC deploy
Activated
beacon
attack deploy
online.
beacon.
Utilizing TAC deploy. Zone hot.
We're winning this.
They're gone.
Deploying taser wire.
TAC deploy beacon used. Utilizing TAC deploy. Zone hot.
Our attack deploy beacon is offline.
Kill.
We're behind.
And stay down.
Friendly attack deploy beacon online.
They're gone.
TAC deploy used. Danger close.
Tango down.
Hostile UAV circling. Our attack deploy beacon has been destroyed.
This'll matter someone's dick. Ruin dropped.
No medal in second place. Get to work.
Down you go.
Friendly attack deploy beacon online.
Threat neutralized.
We're short on time. Fucking next minute.
Down you go, Ruin.
Hellstorm available for tasking. Zero damage. Utilizing TAC deploy. Zone hot.
Friendly attack deploy beacon offline. AOR is lost. Mission is Charlie Foxtrot.
Seraph dropped. Talk kill.